My name is Samira, and I am 19 years old. I come from a poor family in a small village. My father works in the fields, but never earns enough money. My mother takes care of our house and my younger brothers. We often go to bed hungry at night. Life has always been hard for us. When I turned 18, my parents started looking worried all the time. They would whisper together in corners when they thought I could not hear. I knew they were talking about my future and marriage. In our village, girls must marry young, or people start to talk. My parents felt pressure to find me a husband quickly. They did not want neighbors to think badly of our family. One day, a man came to our house to speak with my father. He was much older than me, maybe 50 years old. His hair was gray, and his face looked hard and serious. He owned some land and had money to pay for a wife. My father's eyes lit up when he heard about the money. I felt scared, watching them talk about me like I was something to be sold. The man looked at me only once during his visit. His eyes moved over my body in a way that made me feel uncomfortable. He nodded at my father and said I would do for his needs. They agreed on a price for me that same day. My mother cried quietly, but did not speak against the decision. I realized my childhood was ending, whether I wanted it to or not. The wedding was arranged for the following month. I had no choice in any of the planning or decisions. My mother tried to prepare me for what would happen on my wedding night. She told me I must be brave and do my duty. I felt terrified about being alone with this strange old man. Every day that passed brought me closer to a future I did not want. On my wedding day, I wore a dress that belonged to my cousin. It was too big for me and made me look even younger. The ceremony was small because we could not afford a big celebration. I could barely eat anything because my stomach felt sick with worry. When evening came, I wanted to run away and hide, but there was nowhere for me to go. They brought me to his house after the ceremony ended. The room where I was supposed to sleep was dark and cold. He came to me with a white cloth in his hand. I knew what this cloth was for, because all the women had explained it to me. I prayed that everything would be normal, so he would be satisfied. But deep in my heart, I felt something was wrong. That night, I was too scared to move or speak. He was rough with me and did not care if I was in pain. When it was over, he looked for what he expected to find on the white cloth. But there was nothing there to see. His face changed from satisfaction to anger in just one moment. I knew my life was about to become much worse. In the morning, he held up the empty cloth for everyone to see. His voice was full of rage when he shouted at me. He said I had brought shame to his house and his family. I tried to tell him I had never been with any man before, but he would not listen to anything I said. His anger was like a fire that burned everything in its path. His mother came into the room when she heard the shouting. She looked at the cloth and then at me with disgust. She called me terrible names that made me feel dirty and worthless. She said I was not pure and had tricked their family. Both of them stood there accusing me of things I had never done. I felt like the whole world was against me. I tried to explain that I was innocent and had done nothing wrong. I told them about a fall I had as a child that hurt me badly, but they said I was lying to cover up my sins. They refused to believe that an accident could cause this problem. In their minds, I was guilty, no matter what I said. My words meant nothing to them. From that day forward, they treated me like a prisoner in their house. They gave me the hardest work and the smallest amounts of food. If I made any small mistake, they would beat me. Other people in the village heard the story and began to whisper about me. I became someone that everyone looked down on. My reputation was destroyed forever. The mental torture was worse than the physical beatings. Every day they reminded me that I was worthless and shameful. They made me feel like I deserved all the pain they gave me. I started to believe that maybe I really was as bad as they said. The constant cruelty was breaking my spirit, piece by piece. I began to lose hope that my life would ever get better. Months passed, and my situation never improved at all. He would come to my room at night and hurt me more. During the day, his mother would find new ways to punish me. I was not allowed to speak to other women in the village. They kept me isolated, so I could not tell anyone how they treated me. I felt completely alone in the world. I thought about my family and wondered if they knew what was happening. But even if they did know, they could not help me now. The money had been paid, and I belonged to this family. There was no way to undo what had been done. I was trapped in this house with people who hated me. Every day felt like it lasted forever. Sometimes I would remember the girl I used to be before this marriage. That girl had dreams and hopes for her future. She loved to laugh and play with her friends. She believed that life could be good and beautiful. Now that girl seemed like someone from a story I had heard long ago. I missed her more than anything else in the world. I realized that I was not the only woman suffering like this. There were others in our village who lived with similar pain. Our culture created these situations where innocent girls were punished for things beyond their control. We were all victims of traditions that valued the wrong things. This knowledge made me feel less alone, but also more angry. Late at night, when everyone was sleeping, I would cry quietly. I thought about all the unfairness in my life and in the world. I had done nothing wrong, but was being punished every day. My body and my heart carried wounds that would never fully heal. The girl I had been was gone and would never come back. But somehow, I was still alive and still fighting. I began to write down my thoughts and feelings on scraps of paper. Writing helped me remember who I really was inside. It reminded me that my thoughts and feelings mattered, even if no one else cared. These words were the only thing that truly belonged to me. They were my way of staying connected to the truth about myself. Today, I write this story, hoping someone will read it and understand. I want the world to know what happens to girls like me. We are not guilty of the crimes people accuse us of. We are innocent victims of cruel traditions and unfair expectations. Our pain is real, and our voices deserve to be heard. Maybe someday things will change for other young girls who face what I have faced.